What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, November 27th, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now, it is 10:42 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and I wanted to just mention some of the latest news coming in from the Middle East first. So, 11 more hostages were released from Gaza, and these hostages included two toddlers, and they were dual citizens from France, Germany, and Argentina. So they had dual citizenship with Israel and France, Israel and Germany, and Israel and Argentina. And apparently, 33 Palestinians were released, and they were comprised of 30 minors and 3 women. And the 4-day ceasefire between Hamas and Israel has been extended by 2 more days. This was announced by Qatari officials today. We do know that Qatar and Egypt have been working behind the scenes to try to get more hostages released and extend these ceasefires. So, very interesting situation going on. And John Kirby, the National Security Council spokesman, said that 8 to 9 Americans are still believed to be held by Hamas. I personally think the number is much higher than that, but that's what the official number is. And the 11 hostages that were released today are all in stable condition. This was announced by Professor Mandel, director of the Children's Hospital at the Ichilov Medical Center in Tel Aviv. So they're all in stable condition. They're doing well. So that's some good news to report to you today. And Elon Musk visited Israel today. He met with the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and they visited a kibbutz in the southern part of Israel. So here you can see a picture of Elon Musk and Benjamin Netanyahu. We do know that Elon Musk was facing a lot of criticism for allowing anti Semitism on his platform on Twitter. Okay. So, very interesting that he would suddenly make a trip to Israel. Maybe he's going to start to soften his tone and realize that, it's not what people think, that Israel's not the big bad bully. Okay. But this is very interesting. And what happened at these kibbutz in Israel is very similar to what happened in Bucha in Ukraine. These were areas where Israeli civilians were massacred by Hamas. So him going to kibbutz is the same thing as, like, a foreign leader going to Ukraine to visit Bucha. All right. And the U.S. Navy Eisenhower Aircraft Carrier Strike Group is now officially in the Persian Gulf, which is very interesting because we do know that tensions in the region are at an all-time high. And for the U.S. to send a carrier strike group into the Persian Gulf right next to Iran, right off the coast of Iran, is very suspicious. We also have that USS Florida somewhere in the Middle East as well, in the Central Command area of responsibility. And the USS Florida can carry 154 Tomahawk missiles, most likely with low yield nuclear warheads that could be used to destroy Iranian bunkers that are underneath all the mountains that they have over there in Iran. They would need those earth penetrating nuclear warheads to level all those bunkers where Iran has their nuclear warheads and their missiles stored. So I personally believe that we could see a strike on Iran very soon. I think potentially before the elections next year. This would be a great way for Biden to boost his popularity and to basically ensure a re-election or even canceling of the election if things escalate there. But the U.S. and Israel are going to have to do something about Iran eventually, because Iran cannot be allowed to get nuclear weapons. That would be a total disaster. Okay, but we do have the U.S. Eisenhower Carrier Strike Group now in the Persian Gulf, so very concerning. And Vermont police announced that they have arrested a 48-year-old man on suspicion of shooting 3 Palestinian students at a college in Burlington. All right, so they arrested that guy. And the Secretary General of NATO, Jens Stoltenberg, said that NATO foreign ministers intend to agree on November the 28th to the 29th recommendations for Ukraine on the path for Ukraine joining NATO. Okay. And we did hear some rumors a few weeks back that NATO is proposing to Ukraine that they would admit Ukraine into NATO if basically they allow Russia to keep the land that they've already annexed. In other words, NATO is not going to recognize Crimea and the Donbass and Zaporizhia and Kherson. The southern and eastern parts of Ukraine that were conquered by Russia are not going to be recognized by NATO, and Ukraine is going to have to basically join separate from those territories. So that would be like one of the conditions for Ukraine to join NATO, to bypass that whole mess, that's going on with the war. Okay, so they would just basically join without those territories. It kind of sucks that Ukraine, if that does happen like that, that would kind of suck for Ukraine, but it's better than nothing, right? That they don't get any membership at all. And Secretary General also said that NATO stands in solidarity with our ally Finland in the situation surrounding the growing number of immigrants on the border with Russia. So pretty strong words there from Jens Stoltenberg. And the U.S. State Department said that the publication in the Bild newspaper about the U.S. and Germany putting pressure on Ukraine to start negotiations with Russia is not true. And Putin approved an increase in military spending that has not been seen in Russia since the Soviet times. All right. So Putin is jacking up military spending to a record level not seen since Soviet times. And Russian saboteurs apparently set fire to a warehouse in Yakutsk in Russia. Here's a video showing this fire. Yakutsk is all the way out in Siberia. It's extremely cold there. It's actually one of the coldest places to live in the northern hemisphere. Their average high temperature in January is like minus 55. Okay. And their average low temperature is like minus 70. Okay. Absolutely insane. But check this video out.
Да, пиздец. Там же у них склад.
Я впервые вижу, как сгорает здание.
Да.
Даже если захочем.
So apparently this warehouse is for military uniforms, and the governor of the Moscow region said that Moscow has experienced the heaviest snowfall in 40 years in Moscow, okay? And this is part of that storm system that pounded Ukraine and Romania with blizzard conditions the other day. Hundreds of towns without power, multiple regions across Ukraine and Romania without power due to wind and extreme snow, people stranded on the road. And by the way, guys, we are heading into winter, and make sure you guys are doing everything you need to be prepared for winter. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged, watertight buckets So it doesn't take up a lot of space. Pretty much anyone can find the space in their home to fit 6 buckets, and it'll cover you for 3 months. And it's a variety of food: lunches, breakfasts, dinners, drinks, snacks, free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to worry about your preps going bad. Just store this stuff in a temperature stable location, not too cold, not too hot, stable throughout the year, and it will last 25 years. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video. And this winter, we're going to be in an El Nino. So generally, El Nino winters for the Northern Hemisphere are milder, but still, winter's winter. Make sure you're traveling at all times with some kind of survival kit in your vehicle. Okay, carry a small shovel in case you get stranded on the side of the road. Have some tow straps. So if somebody's passing by and they want to help you out and try to get you out of a ditch, have some tow straps. If you own a 4x4, keep tow straps in your vehicle, not just for yourself, but in case you need to help somebody else. And always make sure you have some food and water in your vehicle. Make sure you have wool socks, warm hats, a warm jacket, warm pants in your vehicle at all times, anytime you travel, in case you break down somewhere and it's frigid outside. You want to make sure you have a spare set of clothes, warm jacket, etc., warm boots, okay, and some calories and some water. Okay, just keep that in your vehicle. Also, for your bug out bag, make sure that you go through your bug out bag and take out some of the items that you have in there for summertime and rotate that, okay? Because a lot of things that you have in your bag may freeze, they may get damaged. For example, like the Sawyer water filters or the Life straws, those types of water filters can crack and get damaged if they're kept in sub-freezing conditions. So if you have any of those in your bug out bag and you leave them in your vehicle overnight, they're going to get destroyed. Any kind of batteries, okay, make sure you're charging any kind of batteries and keeping them charged. Okay, things like that, just use your common sense. We also have tensions escalating in the South China Sea after the U.S. sent a warship into the South China Sea. So here we have some video footage of 2 Chinese Air Force fighter jets shadowing a Philippine aircraft while the Philippine and Australian Air Force were doing joint patrols in the West Philippine Sea. All right. So basically, the Chinese Air Force is now harassing Philippine Air Force planes. Okay. And this happened during a joint patrol in the West Philippine Sea yesterday, with Australia participating in this patrol. And we also have some concerning information coming from the Korean Peninsula. The South Korean Army is reporting that the North Korean Army is redeploying heavy weaponry on the border at the DMZ. Okay, so very concerning. And Japan, the US, and South Korea conducted a trilateral air and naval joint training exercise on November 26th, and the drill involved nuclear capable B 52 bombers from the US and fighter jets from South Korea and Japan. The training was held near the Korean Peninsula to implement the three countries' earlier agreement to increase defense cooperation and boost their joint response capabilities against North Korea. All right, so lots of training going on in the South China Sea and around the Korean Peninsula with Japan, the US, South Korea, the Philippines, Australia. All these big players in the region are doing a lot of training, and a lot of this training involving nuclear bombers, okay, the B 52s, which can carry over a dozen air launched cruise missiles with nuclear warheads on them, the W 80 nuclear warheads, which have a blast yield of up to 150 kilotons, and those air launched cruise missiles have a range of over 2,000 miles. So, very powerful weapon there. The B 52 is basically a weapon in and of itself because it can carry all those air launched cruise missiles and basically level a small country from thousands of miles away. And we have a very concerning situation developing in South America between Guyana and Venezuela. Venezuela is going to be voting to basically annex like 2/3 of Guyana's territory, the Essequibo region. And the president of Venezuela, Maduro, who's a communist, said that the Essequibo region in Guyana is territory that belongs to Venezuela. All right. And we do know that President Maduro put his military on high alert, and the Guyanese police force is now on high alert. And the president of Guyana visited the Essequibo region, and he put up Guyanese flags across the region. And he was speaking to the Guyanese military the other day and telling them, kind of giving them like a pep talk to motivate them. And it looks like the situation is going to escalate here, and we could see a war break out in South America. So, very concerning situation, guys. And apparently, the Brazilian army was put on alert after receiving intelligence information about a potential Venezuelan invasion of Guyana. According to Brazilian intelligence, this invasion would require the passage of troops through Brazilian territory. As a precaution, the Brazilian command initiated an emergency mobilization of troops to the border. About 16 multi-purpose armored vehicles from the 5th Army Division are on high alert and are to be deployed to Boa Vista, the capital of the Roraima state. In addition to multi-mission armored vehicles and infantry troops, the Army also deployed Leopard tanks. Okay, so Brazil is moving their forces to the border with Guyana and Venezuela right now. Okay, this is a very serious situation here. This is not too far away from us, guys. Okay, so that's the latest information that I have. I will continue to update you with the latest breaking news. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon below so you get notified when I post these updates. And I will be back tomorrow with more updates throughout the day. And I will be doing a live stream this week, potentially tomorrow night or Wednesday night. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you guys know when I'm doing that stream, but I will be picking up the live streams again. It's just that I was very busy the last 2 weeks with Thanksgiving, and I had my parents come and visit me. So I was spending a lot of time with them. And of course, the hunting seasons are ongoing right now. So I've just been too busy to do any live streams. I'm sorry about that. But I will be doing the 100,000 subscriber celebration stream this coming weekend. I'm thinking Saturday night potentially, and I will be doing a giveaway of some fire starters and some solar generators from Alps. stay tuned, and I'll let you guys know about the giveaway and how to enter. I still got to decide how I'm going to do it all, so I haven't decided yet when and everything. But this weekend, I'm going to be doing that celebration stream and the giveaway. So stay tuned for specifics on that. And until tomorrow, take care. Good night. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.